Hello everybody. I just give everyone a few minutes to come on, and I'm just getting my beautiful sister who's helping me here. So she's in Warriors of Light. You should be able to see my video. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Okay. Just checking the angle of the camera because we've got to have our most important. There we go. There we go. Tell the boys I'm live and it's really noisy. Okay. Hello beautiful people. Thank you all for joining me here today. My name is Karen Burge. I'm the Vice President of the Church of Ubuntu and also run Ubuntu Wellness Clinic. So we've started about 8 years ago in Newcastle. We were can you turn that down a little? It's a bit sorry, I've got my beautiful friend helping me here today and there's a bit of an echo. So I'm hearing myself echo in the background. So she's just turning that down so that we can get things organised. A bit of technical issues to start with. Sorry about the background noise. I'm in a bit of... Hello everybody. Hang on a second. Alright, so sorry about that people, it won't be a minute, there's just a bit of moving around happening in the kitchen here. So my name is Karen, I'll go back to the beginning. My name is Karen Burge, I'm the Vice President of the Church of Ubuntu and Ubuntu Wellness Clinic. About 9 years ago, or 10 years ago actually, I moved into an apartment with BJ Footer, who was the New South Wales Vice President of the Hemp Party. And at that time I was out fighting the coal seam gas. We're up at Bentley Blockade, trying to protect the land against coal seam gas because farmers actually had no right in that region to stop coal seam gas mining companies coming onto their land and drilling for gas. So I was up there doing that, and then I've come back home and been part of the Hemp Party discussions, weekly meetings, and I realised that here they are drilling gas. Well, we've got this amazing plant, the hemp plant, that we could grow and grow our own houses. We could grow hemp for food, for housing, for fibre, for biodegradable plastic, for paper. Everything that we need to not only survive but thrive could be grown with the hemp plant. So that sort of sparked that passion to get behind the hemp and setting up the infrastructure to process hemp, to grow and process hemp. My vision back then was to set up the infrastructure to grow and process hemp in the Hunter Valley so that we're totally self-sustainable. In the process now of doing that, I've got 4 farms that I'm involved with in the Hunter Valley now, and also looking at setting up the infrastructure to process hemp seeds for food and for housing. And also what I'm finding, I'd love to get the hemp seeds into all schools. That's my vision and my mission. But also I'd like to get them into sporting groups like football clubs, because on weekends I go and watch my grandsons play football and they're running off the field and the coaches give them lollies as a treat after their game. And it just horrifies me because I believe that sugar is one of the biggest causes of disease and death, and refined sugar of course, and it's such a toxic product. For me personally, I believe it's like a legal poison, and really unusual because there's so many restrictions around the cannabis hemp plant, which has got no recorded deaths ever in history, but you can get sugar and alcohol and processed foods available in multiple outlets in every single town, and it's totally legal, so you can buy it. Bit of a problem there, so we're working on that, and there's a lot of people that I'm working with in that. The main reason for sort of me pushing and running as a candidate in the hemp party, so I've been open to the opportunity of running as a candidate in the New South Wales Hemp Party in I think it's the March elections 2023, because it's an opportunity for us to show how Australia, how we can, you know, really utilise this plant. Like I said, the cannabis hemp plant has been consumed as food and medicine for thousands of years with no recorded deaths ever. And with the hemp party, we're working on allowing homegrown. As far as I'm concerned, homegrown, I'm all for homegrown, especially when you're looking at cannabis as a recreational therapy. You know, we've got ice, alcohol, street drug, chemical-laced street drugs, pharmaceutical drugs. Like kids are selling Seroquel and pharmaceutical drugs on the street and getting really high and messed up from it. So there's all these toxic products available that they're using for recreational therapy. Now, for me, as far as recreational therapy is concerned, it's just like it's really tough being here on this planet right now. If I don't know if anyone else is being affected by what's going on, but it really is quite tough being here right now. You know, for me personally, witnessing the suffering of our men and women. I'm sure that we're not here to put on this earth to watch our fellow men and women suffer. I'm sure that we're put here to not only survive but thrive. And I know, since adding cannabis and hemp to my diet and consuming this plant as food the way nature provided it, that I am, you know, so much healthier. I've turned back the clock on aging, I believe. I'm 52 and I don't feel it. I feel younger and healthier than I did when I was 22, 32. I chase the grandsons around. I take them to the beach and run around at the beach, and then I'll put them in the car and they're all passed out and go, where are we going now? You know, it's just, it is the most incredible plant, and I'm standing up for it because I believe that we all deserve immediate affordable access. We've been campaigning now for 8-9 years, running the clinic here in Newcastle, in Hunter Street, Newcastle, for that long. And it's all because we believe that we deserve immediate affordable access. And this plant, as far as I'm concerned, is not the government's plant. It's not Big Pharma's plant. Spirit or Creator or God, whatever you perceive God to be, gifted us, the people, with this plant. I believe that we were given everything we need to not only survive but thrive, but we're also given everything we need in the plant-based kingdom and the animal kingdom to flourish. We were given the products that we need to, and the plants that we were gifted by creation, as was designed. Our body was designed to function on those plants. So I believe that the massive increase of disease that we're witnessing ravishing the planet right now is because of an increase of the introduction of synthetic food and medicine in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Prior to that, our food was our medicine. And I believe that if we're consuming this plant as food, then we would not need it as medicine. So that's a little bit about a bit of an introduction. What I'm going to do now is do a hemp seed smoothie demonstration. So hemp seeds, these are our beautiful hemp seeds. They're grown in Tasmania. They're processed in Queensland and then brought back here, and we sell them tons and tons of them every year. The most nutrient-rich food source currently known to man. And that's why I'm really pushing to get the infrastructure to set up the hemp hulling processing plant or a hemp food processing plant in our region, because you know, it saves on the footprint. You know, they're being grown in Tasmania, sent to Queensland, processed, brought back here. We're sending them all out through Australia. It would be so much better if we are self-sustainable in this region with that one. Firstly, for food. I actually have last week spoke to a financial investor who really loves the idea of my vision to get hemp seeds processed in our region, to have them available at market stalls, at health food shops, and also schools and football clubs. And he is very excited and willing to put forward the capital to set up that project. So yeah, by 2023 I expect that our hemp food processing plant in the Hunter region will be set up and pumping, ready to go. So that's one exciting news. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is a hemp milk smoothie. this is my blender. I got these stickers that says some see weed, others see need. So yeah, definitely need. Anyone that comes to our clinic, you'll see a lot of people going, I want cannabis, I want cannabis, I want cannabis. But you are not going to get the benefits from just coming and taking cannabis. It's not a magic pill. It is a nutrient-rich foods, the most important nutrient-rich food source currently known to man. Like I said, if I had one message for the world, what would it be? Cannabis is food first and foremost. And you know, I've witnessed thousands. We're up to about, in our community now, there's about 16,000 clients. But with the people that started our original organisation here in Newcastle, we've helped probably about 30,000 people. And the thing I love about that is the witnessing of the loved ones too, because if you're witnessing a loved one suffer and then then see them have better quality of life, that's just such a beautiful thing. So that's an added bonus to the work that we do. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to turn, make a hemp milk smoothie. And it's best to blend your hemp seeds and water first. If you've got kids in the house, you could just say to them, you know, do you want to learn how to turn a plant into milk? And they get all excited and they say yes. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So you can just add, you don't need water when you make your hemp seed smoothie. Half a cup of hemp seeds. Because the water and the hemp seeds make milk. It's best to blend them first because then all the oils are released. Today I'm using coconut water because it's chilled and it's got potassium in there and electrolytes. Really, really good if you've got someone at home that's sick. This will just make them feel better. A lot of people that come to us with palliative care, let's chuck that out of there. A lot of people that come to, on a serious note, that come to us with palliative care find that this is really good to have. Now, in an ideal world, everyone would be growing cannabis in our backyard. Another reason why I'd like to see it grown in our backyard is because when our children become to the age of trying recreational therapy, particularly my grandchildren, they all do, we know they do, I would rather them having access to something that I'm growing in my backyard and I know that there's no chemicals on them. I know they're not going to get addicted to it because of the chemicals. So another reason why I'm pushing for homegrown. So when the children come of age to try recreational therapy, cannabis, homegrown cannabis, is by far, in my opinion, the safest natural recreational therapy. So back to my smoothie. Now, in an ideal world, we would be growing our own plants in our backyard. I'm lucky enough to have access to some leaves of the hemp plant that I grew, and I'm going to blend that now. And I've noticed when I added that to my diet, people are looking at me going, what are you doing? They've noticed the beneficial difference. It will not get you high. If you're growing cannabis in your backyard and you're putting your leaves in your smoothie, then it will not get you high. You put it over any meal, you garnish it with any meal upon serving, and honestly, Dr. William Courtney said it is the most important vegetable on the planet, and there's a reason for that. It's called, they've discovered after they've started working with the cannabis plant that we have this thing called our endocannabinoid system, and it's the mothership of our well-being. It governs your immune system, your endocrine system, your cardiovascular system, your metabolism. Everything is turned on and activated by consuming cannabis as food, and its purpose is to achieve and maintain homeostasis. So back to what I was saying before, cannabis isn't a quick fix, but if you want to get on top of your health, slow down the effects of disease and aging, consuming cannabis along with adopting a plant-based diet or just reducing the toxins that you put in and on your body will make a huge difference. So it's going to get a bit noisy for a minute, but I'm just about to show you how to make hemp milk. Hemp seeds and water, and my desired herb of choice. So the longer you blend it, the more fluffier it gets. Just come over and show that. So there it is, white, fluffy, full of omega-3 and 6 amino acids, vitamins, minerals. I know when I'm having my hemp seed smoothie in the morning, I know that I'm set up for the day. I've got my vitamins and minerals, I've got my omegas. So many people have a reduction in pain because it pulls down inflammation. Hemp seeds are believed to be the best bowel cleanse on the planet. So I used to say, I love saying, get some hemp seeds in your diet and clean that shit out. Because it is, you know, a lot of diseases is caused from, you know, the congestion and the blockages in our bowels, and the meat just doesn't process. I know my colonics therapist, she said that, you know, we're carrying unprocessed food around in our stomach. There's meters and meters of this a digestion tract, and it's just all trapped food in there. So the hemp seeds really help with that. I'm just about to add today my extra bits. So I'm just adding frozen banana, frozen mangoes, frozen berries, and blending again. Now we also have this amazing product called antioxidant enzymes, and this is what I recommend when people come to us with cancer, because it's got pawpaw, moringa, and what's the other one? Mangosteen. So they're all really good for strengthening your immune system. Hemp seeds will also strengthen your immune system. Remember, consuming the plant, its purpose is to achieve and maintain homeostasis. So it wants to fix what's out of balance for you. It's very good to have as a meal replacement first thing in the morning, especially if you're busy, have a busy timetable and you're running out the door. Grab a hemp seed smoothie. I make it and put it in a jar, a bottle, and just refrigerate it. It will last for about 2 days refrigerated, but it's best to make them every day. And just shake and serve. Really, really good to have that 3 o'clock when you're feeling that slump and you're feeling tired. I love having it at 3 o'clock too. Or I can also just do it, like if you want to do I found when I have really bad sugar cravings, I'll just do a 3-day hemp milk smoothie fast. So I'll just have hemp seed smoothies and water for 3 days, and that really resets my my immune system, and it also helps to reduce the cravings for sugar. Okay, here we go again. Can you just walk into the cool room and there's little cups in a box? Okay, hemp seed smoothie. There we go. There it is there. So it actually bubbles. You can see it bubbling because it's just food. Just the most beautiful food. I've got my assistant here getting some cups, so I might actually just give that to my yeah, so basically, thank you, Glenma. Okay, so that's basically your smoothie, and yeah, great way to start the day. I'm going to give that to my beautiful assistant to go and give to our staff. It's nice and cold. Have one yourself, Glenma. And yeah, the boy. Just give it to the boys. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, just give it to someone to help themselves. Thanks, Glenma. So I've got my beautiful friend Glenda here, so if you have any questions, please put them in the comments and Glenda's going to read them out to me. So yeah, and it's just honestly, I feel like my total, I've definitely slowed down and reversed the effects of disease and aging in my body. I had a severe autoimmune disease called Graves' disease and a heart condition, so that was the reason for me, yeah. Plus I was living with my housemate. We'd started, you know, making the cannabis, and Dr. Andrew Catalara started working for us, with us, and he had great success with children with epilepsy, successfully treating children with epilepsy, and he'd actually proven in a court of law that homegrown cannabis is a medical necessity for children with intractable epilepsy, because nothing else would work. they call it intractable because nothing's working for them. So that's really powerful. So it is the most incredible plant. I believe that, like I said, every single person deserves immediate affordable access. The quickest way for us to push for access, I believe, in my opinion, would be to join the Hemp Party. So I will add, the Hemp Party is now the legalised cannabis party. So just fighting for our rights, for homegrown, for better driving conditions. You know, we've got alcohol, it's an impairment test, but with cannabis it's just zero tolerance. Now, there's been studies in the world, all over the world, that prove that cannabis users are actually safer drivers because they slow down and they're more conscious. So that's really, you know, all the education and all the research of what's being done in other countries is available on the Legalised Cannabis Party website or the Hemp Party website, which is based in Nimbin. But they've got candidates all throughout Australia. But even if you are passionate about this plant and you want to also push to have it legalised, I encourage you to look at the option of becoming a candidate. Simple, just get online, join the Legalised Cannabis Party and go from there. Because it really is, I think it's the way forward, especially with you know, with the potential of this plant. We could be totally self-sustainable and making biodegradable products. It means that, you know, there's no more toxic plastic that's destroying our thank you, Veronica. No more toxic plastics that's destroying our planet. That actually, we can, I believe, in full faith, save our planet with this plant, for sure. There's no doubt in my mind whatsoever. In fact, I think it's the only thing that can, and plus create jobs and actually it also restores the environment and the ecosystem. So I found that there was in Gloucester, the Barrington River stopped flowing. So we planted seeds up there and intended that the river start flowing, and as the plants grow, the ecosystem is restored to its natural ability. And yeah, it started flowing within, I think, the day after we planted our seeds. Prior to cannabis, I was a spiritual teacher and a spiritual mentor, and I worked with prayer, blessing, and intention. I believe intention is like limitless potential. You know, we don't have to tell ourselves to get up, brush our hair, brush our teeth, get ready for the day. We just have to set the intention that that's what we're doing for the day, and we need to be here at a particular time. And I believe the intention works within our intelligence, and we get our stuff done. So very, very powerful to start working with our intention. I also love, I believe, standing up for and protecting our precious beloved Mother Earth, who so lovingly gifts us with everything we need. Like I said before, we have everything we need to not only survive but thrive. We've been given these amazing plants and the animals to keep this ecosystem flowing so that we can not only survive but thrive. And I think the more we can connect with nature and start using, I think that's the benefits of eating a plant-based diet and using the plant-based medicines, is because it helps us remember who we are. You know, the trees know how to grow, the rivers know how to flow, the sun knows how to rise, the animals know what to eat. There's some sort of intelligence on this planet, the spirit molecule intelligence, that is operating in the background, that is also flowing through all of us. And I believe, you know, tuning into our, I've just got messages popped up. I believe tuning into, you know, getting back to as natural state as possible is definitely the best way to get ourselves on track, to help us. You know, I believe that we're all designed, we've all been programmed to be who everyone else wants us to be, but it's time for us to come back to our own self, and I think the easiest way to do that is by connecting with nature. So, have another bit of a drink. I'll just bring the video forward and just check any comments. Okay. Right, any questions? Oh, I just want to put my hair in that. My little props here, I've got props everywhere. Thank you, Veronica. Hi, Craig. Yeah, okay, so I'm just gonna, thank you, Glenma. I'm just gonna see if there's any questions here. Glenma's just come back to assist after handing out the Hemp smoothie to everyone, which I'm sure they loved.
Devoured.
Everyone devoured. They love it. They love it when I'm here in the building.
Smile on your face.
So it puts a smile on their face, and often, so we're in. We've got about 10 to 15 staff here at any one day, and sometimes when I make the smoothies, sometimes I forget, and then other times I do, and they just go. Everyone just loves it. It's just such a, and they'll be going, "Oh my God, I needed that. How did you know I needed that?" Just because we're in tune, you know. Like I said, the more we're in tune with ourselves, with the natural, with nature, the more we can tune in with nature, the more we will get in touch with that intuition within ourselves. Is there any questions, Glenma? Okay, let's see if there's here. Hi Jacob, hello everyone. I know so many people who are in pain. Oh, thank you, Steph. Yeah, we've helped thousands and thousands of people. It's just pain, insomnia, anxiety, depression, cancer, MS, Parkinson's, Crohn's. Every single condition we've had benefits, we've had success with, and that is because we're looking at the endocannabinoid system, and that is why it works for everybody. I was just seeing if there's any questions.
So Loretta Hoffman wants to know, can you send me some of the packets that you just showed for cancer to Stony Creek, please?
Yes, absolutely, Loretta. Hello, beautiful. My beautiful friend Loretta here. She's been using cannabis for many years, and it's definitely kept her here on the planet, along with, she's got another couple of beautiful friends that have been through the same cancer as Loretta, and they're all still with us today because they've had access to this plant. Makes me a bit emotional because when you've, especially when these people are so beautiful, you just love them, and they're just such gorgeous people, and yeah, so we'll get that organised if you can write that down, Glenma.
Yeah, so Francine Henderson said she wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Ubuntu.
Another good, yeah. And that's what just brings me so much joy. Honestly, this plant is our plant. It's not the government's plant. It's not Big Pharma's plant. It's our plant, and it's time we claimed it. It's time we start growing it in our backyard. Ask around, get some seeds. If every single Australian grows it in their backyard, then the government can't stop us from doing that. We just go to court and say, I'm growing it to save my life. I'm growing it to save my life with my loved one. We just clog up the courts or whatever, because it is actually a crime against humanity to withhold this plant from us, in my opinion. So I'm a bit emotional, but it is, yeah. Have beautiful people, Loretta, Francine, so many people in our community that are benefiting, and it's just beautiful to see. Glenda wants to join the video. Just going to adjust my camera here. Yeah, that's better.
It says, Steph Lavelle says it's so powerful.
Yeah.
Katrina Lindsay says love it.
Excellent, thank you,
Craig
Katrina.
Atkinson said hi. Veronica Rollinson said great work, Karen.
Thank you.
That's it.
That's it. All right. Is there any other questions? I've gone through a bit quick, and we're done in half the time. So we do still have some time to discuss anything if anyone's interested. We do have, like I said, I'm directing people to the Legalised Cannabis Party, which I'll put up on the post. But also we've got the Hunter Hemp Co-op, which I've created in the last few months, and that's my new little baby. That is the platform where we will move forward with setting up the infrastructure. So if you're a farmer, if you're someone that's just interested in helping with this, you can join that website. So you can if you've got land that you want to where you want to start growing hemp, then join us there. You can ask the question, join the database there, and send us an email at Hunter Hemp Co-op, and that's what I'll be putting my energy into now. It's just so beautiful being on the farm and growing your own plants. There's nothing like it, and it's honestly, it is the best thing that you can do for your health. And I believe in standing up for the cannabis hemp plant and affordable access by joining the legalised cannabis party. We're doing it for our own well-being, but we're also doing it for the well-being of our future children, our children's children, all future generations, and our beloved Mother Gaia.
Craig Atkinson says, more on pain, please.
More on pain. Excellent. All right. So we believe we've got lots of different products here that help with pain. I've just started making hemp honey, which has been really, really good. And we were trialling it on a friend's dog who had a cancerous tumour. So she was putting the honey on the tumour and the other dogs were licking it up, which is a bit gross. But anyway, what we discovered from that was that the other dogs that were licking it off, one of them stopped limping and the other one didn't freak out when there was a thunderstorm. So which showed us that works for beneficial, that the hemp honey is beneficial for pain and anxiety. But with our products, there's so many different options. So basically anyone that's wanting assistance in our clinic just simply fills out an intake form on our website under the Wellness Clinic tab, which I can put up here. And then you'll go through to our triage and I'll book you in for a consultation, which will be a phone consultation. One of our amazing therapists will call you and talk you through the best options. So we've got even just adding hemp seeds to your diet will reduce pain. We've got massage oils that work for pain. We've got creams. We've got specifically oils for through the day to give you energy, help with anxiety, and then there's other ones for pain and sleep, insomnia. So again, like I said, the reason it works for everybody is because it's addressing and activating the endocannabinoid system, which is the mothership of our well-being. It will reduce inflammation. It will, its purpose is to achieve and maintain homeostasis. I think my leaf's a bit wonky, but that's all right. A bit like me sometimes. You definitely have benefits. Pretty well, basically, every single person that's come through to us, thousands and thousands, I think we're up to about 16,000, have had better quality of life. That's the thing, better quality of life. What right does anyone have to say no to that? And, for many, many years, we were the biggest provider in Australia, but it's sort of slowed down now. The pharmaceutical ones have come on. But even a lot of doctors prescribe cannabis to their clients and then send them to us to get their script filled, because our plants, our medicine is, our cannabis food concentrates are made with integrity and made the way the Creator wants them to be made. It's not a synthetic or an isolated compound. Big Pharma, I think, are trying to make an isolated compound, trying to make money out of this plant, like they have for many plants, like poppies, for example, are a pharmaceutical drug. All these, these plant-based medicines that they take, it's an isolated compound, so they take a tiny little bit out. They want to take the tiny little bit of THC or CBD out of this plant. This plant is a whole plant. That's why we're getting great success, because we provide a service that offers whole plant the way nature provided. And we consume it as food the way nature provided it. Thousands of years, no recorded deaths ever, and still no recorded deaths. It's impossible to die from cannabis because it is non-toxic to the organs, and you can't say that about pharmaceutical drugs, which more often than not cause more side effects. I've just had a very close member of my family realise that he has an involuntary tic disorder because of years of pharmaceutical drugs, and it's irreversible now. And he's only 31. So, short-term pain, long-term gain with pharmaceutical drugs. You will not get that with cannabis. And like I said, growing it in your backyard is the safest way. Even Dr. Andrew Catalaris proved in court that cannabis is a medical necessity for children with intractable epilepsy. The cannabis that these parents that attended this court case were making the cannabis oil was grown in their backyard. So they were growing their own cannabis. He would go in and set them up to grow their own cannabis, because then you'd guarantee that they always had medicine. Whereas if we're growing it in a paddock or anything like that, the risk of it being seized by the police was high. And so that was really, it's detrimental to the health of these children to have something and then to have it taken away from them. So it sort of would cause more harm than good. So we needed to ensure that they had a consistent supply of medicine. And the way to do that was to teach these parents to grow it in their backyard. In Europe, you talk to anyone in Italy and Greece, 60, 70 years ago, they were actually just growing it as food. They were chopping it up and putting it on serving it on their food, eating it upon serving. So, I like to put it through all my food, serve it, put it in the freezer, and I just chop it up and put it in my smoothie, as you saw before, but also on any meal upon serving. Yeah, best thing you can do for your health. Any more questions? Still got a little bit of time left. We may finish a little bit early, but thank you all for joining me. It's been so wonderful to be here. I hope that you all had, got something out of it. Hope that you're all inspired to, even just start looking at your, your connection to the plants and to nature. I believe if our world's lost its glory, every new day is an opportunity to write a brand new story. If you're suffering from ill health, it is never too late to stop and slow down the effects of disease and aging, I believe, my opinion. Works for me. And, I was reading this book last week, Anastasia, the Ringing Cedar series, and she spoke about even joy, having joy is just such a powerful feeling that it actually, blesses, it sort of activates the light within us. And I know that when I think of, a particular situation and I feel joy, I know that I feel light, I feel just so much lighter, and it actually does activate the light within us. Joy and love, and so anything that helps us reconnect with ourselves is a wonderful thing. Like I said, connecting with nature, looking at adopting a plant-based diet. You don't have to do it forever, but if you've got disease in your body and you want to slow it down, I thoroughly recommend you reduce the toxins you put in and on your body. Start drinking really good water. I had a head cold last week and I did a 3-day water fast, and it was I sort of stretched it out to 5 days, but hang on a second, is there a question?
More information on how and why Indo-CB system works, please.
Okay, I'll come back to that. Yeah. What was I talking about then? Lost my train of thought. That's all right.
Endocrine.
So reducing the toxins you're putting in and on your body. Good water. Okay, so our water, years ago when I started, 2005, wanted to get on top of my health, and I started to drink lots of water, but it was tap water. I hated the taste of it. I never drank water because I hated the taste of the tap water. So I started adding lemon to it and things, but that was when within that time range was when I discovered that I had Graves' disease, which is an autoimmune disease that attacks the thyroid. Now, after doing a bit of research, fluoride actually destroys and damages the thyroid and can be a cause of autoimmune disease. So it is I stopped, I believe that could have been a contributing factor. At that time, I also believed that food was, I was under the understanding that food in supermarkets was safe for human consumption. I believe now that I was wrong. It's processed food. You walk into a supermarket and the health food section is like this tiny little section, and the rest is, so if there's only health food section in if there's only health food in 10% of the shop, then what's the rest of the stuff in that shop is my question. So, reducing the toxins you're putting in and on your body, having really good water. Back to the fasting. So I had this head cold, and my friend kept saying, if you want to reset your immune system, 3 days water fast, 3 days water fast. Well, I had to stretch it out because I didn't actually have 3 days where I could just stop and do nothing. Still had to take the kids to football, my grandsons, and run them around. So it wasn't in a position where I could stop and do nothing. But I did drink water. I just water fasted for days, and resting would have probably helped me get over it a bit quicker. But anyway, what it did was really started to reset my immune system. And then I've just started Mary Woolley's, who was another author in one of Tasha's books earlier, I believe. She's an Ayurvedic medicine therapist in Newcastle. She's doing a 10-day mung bean soup challenge. So I've jumped on board that, and I'm starting to feel amazing. I'm up to day 4 today. And again, it's just an opportunity to heal your gut. I really got on top of my health. I was my ideal weight. Everything was flowing smoothly. And then when COVID hit, it was just a trauma, I was here by myself in the clinic. Our business partner was away, and he was away, and then I had to just forget about all my crap, because there was staff here and there was clients here that were reliant on us. So I had to just forget about anything and just get my shit together so that I could, serve our community. So, but also, it was, and I used to continue to do my inspirational. I have a lot of people following me that love my sunrise videos, because I live in Newcastle, so I do the sunrise videos over the ocean, or I sometimes stay at Lake Macquarie, so I do the sunrise videos over the lake. So I found that I was doing them and sending a lot of love and prayers to Melbourne and Victoria, but still it was excuse me, really hard to not be affected by what I was witnessing. The trauma. I'm a huge empath, so I do get knocked around when I witness other people suffering. But I've also, there were times when I'm just wanted to give up. I'm going, wow, this is too hard. But then people go, no, don't give up, Kaz, you inspire us. So, if you give up, we all give up. So that sort of motivated me a little bit. But it was a little bit harder to motivate myself to continue to feel passionate and excited about life when there was so much suffering that I was witnessing. So, it's been really a big journey. But in that time also, I found I was also the last, probably about 6 months, there's been a bit of trauma in my family with my children. So I found that I went back to that unconscious eating. So, and I really wanted to get on top of my health again. So having this head cold, it was like, we're light workers. We're not supposed to be putting anything into our body that's not pure. So I've seen this as an opportunity with the head cold and the water fasting to purify my body so that I am able to contain more light and I'm able to stay clear and focused so that I can play my part here. And so that's been very helpful. So and now with the mung bean soup, I just feel myself getting lighter again. My wheat belly's gone. My clothes started to shrink. I thought they were shrinking, but I think it was maybe it was not the clothes that had shrunk. Maybe I had put on a little bit of the comfort eating, that excess belly fat. So I know bread gives me wheat belly, but I love it. But anyway, it just feels good and you're eating it, but I'm cutting that out. And I know that I want to be the vibrant, healthy woman that I know the potential of the vibrant, healthy woman that I can be. So I'm going back to that. I know that my endocannabinoid system switched on, so let's go back to the endocannabinoid system. So there's a Professor Mashuli in, I think I forget where he's from, but anyway, he started to do the research for cannabis has been so restricted because of the restrictions around the plant. So as this is restricted, this amazing scientist, Professor Rashuli, I think is his name, and he started to do a little bit of research, and I think he was the one that discovered the endocannabinoid system and as your body's main operating system. So I will add some videos here that explain it a little bit more, but I know that it turns on your well-being switch. I know that I had a client once, he had really bad tics, involuntary movement, Tourette's, and anyway, he was in hospital and he was out of medicine, so I took him in some cookies, and he'd gone from bedridden. He had a little bar of cake I'd made him with like 8 sections, and he'd gone from bedridden to being up, all alive and happy, and the nurses had come in and said, "What's wrong with you? What have you done?" He goes, "Well, I've had my cannabis." And they go, "Well, you're not allowed to have that here." And he goes, "Well," he said, "we're going to get security and we're going to take it off you." So he gave it to other people in the, he gave a small dose to other people in the ward, and then he ate the whole lot. So I said to him, "What happened?" He said, "Honestly," he said, "it reset my well-being." He said, "Honestly, for 24 hours, I had no involuntary movement. I was just totally at peace. I was clear. I had clarity. I was out of pain." Now, I don't recommend that, because if you do have too much cannabis, what can happen is you can go into herxing, which is your body. So remember, its purpose is to achieve and maintain homeostasis. So you're having tiny bits of cannabis, consuming cannabis food concentrates, and that happens slowly. But if you have a massive dose of too much, then it will go in to want to fix everything. So it's a huge detox. It's a huge purge. I know that my housemates were making brownies, and they didn't, I had a bit of brownie, and I thought, oh yeah, that's nice. This is the beginning of my healing journey. And I thought, that's nice. And then I thought, it's not doing anything. So I went back and had more. Well, I had 5 bits, and the next minute, a couple of hours later, what happened was I was greening out. So greening out is the herxing, that you feel like you're dying, your heart will be racing. I said to my housemate, "I'm dying." And he goes, "No, you're not. You're detoxing. You're going into a huge detox." So I got myself a cup of detox tea, had a shower. He said, "Go and sit in the shower." So sitting in the shower, he's knocking on the door and saying, "You all right?" I said, "Yeah, this is amazing." I felt like I was in a waterfall. And then I crawled out and I stood up and I projectile vomited. So it was just a massive detox. And then the next day it was like huge. I felt amazing. I felt like running a marathon. So it is really good, occasionally to green out. It's not a bad thing. You will not die. It will pass, but you do feel very uncomfortable. So that's why we recommend people starting off on real small doses, waiting a couple of hours. It can take hours to kick in. So waiting a couple of hours, we have so many seniors in our clinic that actually live by themselves and self-manage their medicine. So they'll start off on a tiny little 1/8 of a cookie, and then if that works, that's the first recommendation for day 1. And if you get results that day, you stay on that dosage. If you don't, the next day you go to a 1/4. It's very, very simple to work out your dosage. We support people here to do that. But the endocannabinoid system, I believe personally, that is why every single person would have benefit from cannabis in their diet, consuming it as food. And it also it strengthens and activates your immune system, your cardiovascular system, your metabolism. And like I said, I will add lots more images and pictures to this post here for people to go into, do a little bit more research about it. Is there any more questions? No?
That's it. Katrina Heron says hi.
Hello, Katrina Heron. Thank you for joining us, my beautiful sisters. So yeah, we have an amazing community in here. Also, Church of Ubuntu, we've got lots of awesome stuff happening. So I do blogs, and I prefer actually, sort of getting a bit tired of Facebook and all the restrictions around it. So I'm going to push forward to do more of our sunrise videos and more of my cooking classes and things on our own network. So if you join churchofubuntu.org.au, if you look at our website, which I'll also put on here, and join our community, then you'll be notified with you'll get the blogs, you'll get the information about events that we'll be holding. We'll have more events here in Newcastle, community gatherings. We also had an event about 6 weeks ago. I've also about January 2021, I purchased a horse boat, and I've been transforming that into a hemp milk smoothie van. So it's a hemp milk smoothie van, but it's also an education van. So we had a little, launched it out the front here, out the front of our clinic. We had our musicians playing. We had about 80 people dancing on the street as part of Illuminate Newcastle, and it was just so beautiful. So we will be doing more events like that. So tune in, and if you are a member of our community, then you'll be notified when anything awesome happens. And yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. Once you add your, going back to the smoothies, I spoke about the antioxidant enzymes, but we also have other things like Mason's mushrooms. So another recipe in the hemp seed smoothies, I often just have half a cup of, about quarter of a cup of cacao. So I'll make my hemp milk, and then frozen banana, cacao, and lion's mane. So lion's mane mushroom is good for your cognitive function and memory. There's a local cafe that sells a hot chocolate with lion's mane tonic, and I was getting it every day, and then I come home and thought, I want to do a video on lion's mane because we'd been selling it for ages. And then I looked at the properties of it and saw that it helps with optimum organ function, nerve health, immune system, stimulates stomach lining, and cognitive function and memory. So I found that I was coming home after having my lion's mane tonic, and I was getting shit done. I was really clear and focused, and I could really get stuff done, which is sometimes a little bit hard here because there's so many distractions and so much going on. But definitely, again, plant-based. The more we can eat plants and do and connect with nature, I believe the more that we can come into alignment with our own well-being and be and live our purpose, and be the best version of ourselves and be happy and healthy, in my opinion. So we're just about to wrap it up here, unless there's any other questions.
Mm-hmm.
No more questions. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. I really enjoyed having this discussion. I got to half an hour and I felt like I'd said everything, but once I just love this plant. I believe we all deserve immediate affordable access. As far as I'm concerned, prohibition is the gateway to needless suffering for the whole of humanity, particularly Australians, because that's the area of my passion. Setting up the infrastructure in this region so that we're self-sustainable for hemp, for food, for housing, for paper, for plastic, for fibre, and that can be replicatable anywhere. There's also other industries that are setting up everywhere. So we can do this, but we need people power, and we need enough people also behind it to know that this will give us hope. It is the hope plan. I call it the hope plant. For me, as far as I'm concerned, it's the hope plant. And we could all, utilising this plant to the best of its potential will not only benefit our own well-being, our children's well-being, all future generations' well-being, and protect and preserve our beautiful, beloved, precious Mother Earth. So that's my 2 bobs worth. So thank you all for joining me. If there's any more questions, I'll get on the thread and answer any questions and add some more literature and information in regards to the endocannabinoid system and the Legalised Cannabis Party, Church of Ubuntu, and Hunter Hemp Co. Well, thank you. Love, love, love.